am very excited, and dare I say overly excited, about the new lineup of Sony ES AVRs that have just been released here in 2023. First, let's talk about power. The AZ1000 ES is 7.2 channels at 100 watts per channel. The AZ3000 ES is a 9.2 channel AVR with 120 watts per channel. The AZ5000 ES that's shown here is an 11.2 channel AVR at 130 watts per channel. And the big boy, the AV7000 ES at 13.2 channels of amplification at 150 watts per channel. All of the new ES AVRs come with Dolby Atmos and DTS:X. However, the 7000 ES comes with DTS:X Pro because there's more than 11.2 channels of processing available. But there are other features that I'd like to talk about. The 360 spatial sound mapping, digital cinema audio calibration 9, and also 360 reality audio. 360 spatial sound mapping will use the calibration from the microphone, or if you've done it manually, to create a better environment for your speakers. So for example, if you don't have the speakers in the best optimal placement, the AVR will automatically create a virtual placement for those speakers, giving you a better sound experience. Now, how these new ES receivers get that information is by the Digital Cinema Audio Calibration 9, and this uses a stereo microphone, or let's say a 3D microphone, that uses multiple different variations of gathering the data that it needs for how far away speakers are, the tone of the speakers, what's the distance from the screen, how high are your ceiling, how far away are you from the screen, how far the speakers are away from the screen, and calculate all that to create that immersive sound. 360 Reality Audio is a new immersive music experience using Sony's 360 spatial sound technology. Dynamically place and control individual sounds in a 360 spherical sound field and immerse the listener in sound from all around. When it comes to HDMI inputs, these AVRs do not disappoint. Starting with the 1000 ES, that has two HDMIs that can support 8K or 4K 120, and it has four HDMIs that supports 4K 60. The 3000 ES has four HDMIs that can support 8K or 4K 120, and has two HDMIs that support 4K 60. The 5000 ES and the 7000 ES both have four HDMIs that support 8K or 4K 120, and has three HDMIs that support 4K 60 with one on the front. So speaking of HDMI, from a reliability perspective, from integration perspective, Sony has dedicated 4K HDMI inputs and dedicated 8K or 4K 120 HDMI inputs. I think this is a great step where we're going to have better reliability in connecting current products to these AVRs, and also have the availability for future products going into the new 8K monitors that support 8K resolution or 4K 120. Now, to continue on in video, not only do these AVRs support 4K 120 and 8K HDR using HDMI 2.1, but there's a lot of gaming features that are available too, like VRR, which is variable refresh rate, which means that the AVR will be able to support changing refresh rates from 60 Hz to 120 Hz on the fly during gameplay, and also supports ALLM, or Auto Low Latency Mode, which is a game mode that reduces delay between the inputs on your controller and the corresponding action that takes place on your TV. Additionally, you'll see the IMAX Enhanced certification badge on these AVRs. That means that the device must meet strict performance standards across viewing mode, resolution, color, brightness, contrast, and sonic fidelity. Now, there's a couple of really cool center channel modes that I like to talk about. One of them is dual center speaker mode, which would be really good for larger screens or larger displays, where you're enabled to add a second center channel above the monitor or above the screen. Now, to utilize this feature, you will have to use the height to right channel for this. Now, another great option is to use the S center output on the back of your AVR and plug it into your compatible Sony Bravia TV, and this will allow the TV to also act as a center channel, bringing the voice more direct with the screen. Now, keeping in the topic of sound, these AVRs now have the ability to have wireless connectivity for rear speakers and wireless subwoofers. Keep in mind that the AVRs, which are wireless rear speakers but also Dolby Atmos enabled, they will take up the rear channels and an Atmos channel, so you'll only be able to have another pair of wired Atmos on these AVRs. And with the wireless subs, you do have the ability to have two subwoofers connected at the same time, but keep in mind they must be the same model number. Now here's something that I'm very excited to talk about, and that is wireless connectivity. So besides the rears and the wireless subwoofer, we now have Chromecast built into it, Google Assistant, Apple AirPlay, Bluetooth, Spotify, and my personal favorite, works with Sonos. Not only does it work with Sonos, but you're able to connect two Sonos ports to this device, so you can have one streaming service going on in the main room, plus another streaming service going on in the zones as well. From an integration perspective, we're going to continue having support from Control4, Vantage, RTI, URC, Crestron, Elan, and Savant. But what I'm very excited about is the integration of Oversee for network and device monitoring remotely. Now, I can't finish this video without talking about the Sony ES 5-year parts and labor warranty, which includes a 90-day advanced exchange program and dedicated toll-free support staffed by CEDIA-trained product experts.